Today's frightening bear attack takes us to Babb, Montana, just east of Glacier National Park. Babb, Montana is a quaint community that sits on the border of the Blackfeet Nation and Glacier National Park. It is nestled in the transitional aspen ecoregion between the Rocky Mountains and mixed grass prairie. The main site and reason for visiting the area is obviously the Glacier National Park. Northeast of the town is Chief Mountain, a very prominent peak with almost vertical edges. Glacier County is a birder's paradise boasting more than 200 species of birds. The larger mammals who make their home here include grizzly bears, lynx, black bears, moose, wolverines, mountain lions, bighorn sheep, elk, coyotes, and wolves. The region is also home to badgers, beavers, otters, porcupines, bats, and more. The streams, rivers, and lakes are home to a variety of fish, including bull trout, lake trout, whitefish, and bass. Western Montana is also home to lots of insects, such as centipedes, beetles, spiders, and moths, to name a handful. During late summer, grizzly bears feast on moths living under loose rocks on steep mountainsides. Originally around 1874, Babb was a whiskey post that attracted customers even from the Kootenay side of the Rockies. On July 12, 2013, Patty Miller had just rented an old trailer in Babb, Montana for the third year in a row. Her brother had a summer fishing cabin just a quarter of a mile away, and every morning she would take long walks around the pine-fringed lake with her two little Havanese dogs, Angus and Seamus, her best friends. Prior to the trip, her biggest dog, Angus, did not want to go, but Patty forced him out anyway, thinking he'd change his mind on the way. Just before heading out, Patty clipped her phone holster to her slim waist, strapped her bear spray and police whistle to her designer belt. The dirt road around the lake offered very little shade, so at the top of a nearby hill with a clearing she took off her jacket and tied it around her waist. The morning was terrifyingly quiet, with no birds chirping, but still she saw nothing and kept walking until she made it 100 feet down the hill and heard a loud snap. The two cubs that clumsily rushed out onto the road were the most adorable things she'd ever seen. But the full-sized mama grizzly bear lingering behind them wasn't. It stopped when it saw Patty, not more than 5 feet away. It then reared up onto its hind legs and must have been 8 feet tall. The bear's roar echoed throughout the valley as it dropped down to chase after Patty, at a speed that seemed impossible to achieve for such an enormous animal. Patty then sprinted for the brush near where the bears came out and dove in. Her tiny dogs were jumping 3 feet in the air to stop her. The bear struck at them, then came for Patty, who didn't even get the chance to reach her spray as the bear blocked the view. Its claws cut through her arm first, tearing down from her neck. The bear then bit Patty's skull 3 times. Patty didn't even make eye contact. The bear then pulled Patty out of the brush and raked its claws over her abdomen all the way up to her neck, trying to reach organs. The bear missed Patty's carotid artery by the width of 1 hair. The only reason Patty survived is because the bear's cubs wandered off and the bear went after them. A dog's bark brought her back to consciousness. Only one dog. Patty knew immediately that Angus was dead. So, when she got up, she just unleashed it, and it took off running towards home. As Patty struggled to walk, waves of nausea washed over her and she kept getting dizzy. But she wobbled and inched her way forward. As she reached the road, she sat waiting, in hopes that someone would drive by. It took 3 hours. At 11:40 a.m. a big truck rumbled by, driven by a school teacher, and Patty yelled out, "Do you think you could come over here and give me a hand?" They stopped and hurried towards her, rushing her into the truck and calling 911. In the midst of that, Patty's sister-in-law came by, frantically asking them if they'd seen a dog. When she recognized Patty, she got in the truck and covered her with a shirt. They met the EMTs about 6 miles from where she was attacked, and the ambulance took her 40 minutes to Browning Hospital. When they cut off her clothes, she felt like a piece of meat on a slab, exposed and raw. They gave her 4 pints of blood and immediately airlifted her to Kalispell Regional Medical Center, where she went through 7.5 hours of surgery that first time, had 3 subsequent operations in the coming days. Patty survived a fractured nose, several deep lacerations on the back of her neck, 3 bites to the head, and long, deep cuts through her torso. With this frightening bear attack in mind, I have a few questions for you. Why do you think the grizzly bear attacked Patty Miller? Do you think her dog saved her life? And would you go back to the same area after this type of attack? Let us know your answers in the comments section down below, and we will be glad to meet you there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on more videos similar to this one. Thank you for watching, and remember to always be careful out there in bear country.